welcome to the next episode of the Beach Court Podcast. This week you've got Parker and I. Sorry, Maddox took off a week. He told you about that last week if you listened to that episode. But we do
Did
have we do have a special guest later, Emily Forman, joining to talk all things becoming a caster and her Lille tournament run. So we'll have Emily on later. She's one of our casters in the Pokemon Trading Card Game community. So stay tuned for that interview in a little bit. But before we get there, we'll talk about pre-releases this weekend a little bit. What cards you should look out for in your kits, what kit you might want to get, and then we'll end it out with a little bit of Lil recap. Dragapult Dusknoir took it down again. Had all Dragapult Dusknoir finals. That was so much fun to watch, and we'll run through our predictions and kind of our thoughts into the meta changes that might happen going in this weekend into Brisbane, Gdansk. So yeah, let's jump into it. Parker, what'd you do this weekend? This week, how's your week been?
uh my week was pretty good. I played Charizard to locals. That was like a big consideration for the cup I played in, and like the games I lost were just kind of out of my control. I think, just like bricked against Anthony, and then against Maddox, I prized two Charmanders, and obviously he's gonna figure out, based that I didn't pop in for two Charmanders, that I prized two of them. So my Charmanders never got to see the light of day.
What did Maddox play?
He was playing the Absol deck.
Oh, right. Okay,
We
cool.
played another game and I won, but like yeah, in the game was so not the best performance there. Played in the Cool Stuff Cup. Um, I played Gustavo's Guardy deck, except I took out a Mysterious Garden for another counter catcher just because I hate that card at one. And then I took out Cleffa for Mew EX, which like I don't know, maybe I should have kept it in because golly gee whirlikers, my hands were like so bad. But I ended up making cut somehow. Um, round one, my opponent just didn't bench a second Absol. He opened Trolley going first, and just never benched a second Absol. And I just went, yeah, the lively Stadia out. So I went kill your guy with Drifloon, and then counter catch your Kangaskhan and kill it. And that was game.
All right.
And then beat Cerule Edge in a game of I never got Gardevoir out on the field.
What?
Yeah.
How'd you build out Gardevoir?
I like manually attached to Lily's Clefairy and put a bravery charm on it, and then he like I tried to like confuse with Monkey, but then he went like Jet Energy Retreat, like killed it. I was like, okay. Lily's Clefairy hit for a bit, moved some monkey damage. Like I don't know, I somehow won.
That's wild, actually.
Yeah, and then lost to McKinley. I announced collect 4 times.
Good attack on the Ralts. Very good attack.
It is a good attack, yes. But you can't beat
Was he playing
Charizard.
what do you call it? Toltec box? What was he
I just
playing?
went Charizard.
Oh, Charizard.
So funnily enough, okay, so I had Rare Candy Guardy in hand like turn 2, but it literally did me nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just got to keep collecting. But, like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, ended up losing in top 8 to Grimmsnarl. Game 1 was I was kind of surprised I won game 1, but like Iono kind of did its job. And then game 2, I just had monkeys and Ralts on the field and just lost eventually. And then game 3, I got a little bit going. I got all of his monkeys out of play. In hindsight, I think I should have killed Frostlass instead of Monkey Dory because he put a Frostlass up for whatever reason. But I ended up losing by 10 damage. Yeah, if I didn't have 10 damage on a monkey, I had it the next turn.
But, yikes!
But yeah.
Brutal.
Yep, another top 8. Sad day.
I mean, at least you're making top 8 to the cup. That's
yeah,
good. I know your thoughts, but At least top 8's pretty good.
Mhm.
A lot of people listen to this podcast will take that top 8. But yeah, that was a cool stuff cup for me this weekend. What did I do last weekend? I feel like I didn't do a lot. Usually it's like you saying I don't know what I did. I watched the regional. I watched the
Mhm.
cast. Had a good time with that. Yeah, I watched a lot of football. I think I just watched a lot of football. I didn't go to locals last week. It was just kind of a chill week at home. Needed a kind of week off to decompress. Built a bunch of decks on Sunday. Got excited. Built updated all 13 of my decks, which Parker guessed right.
I guessed somehow randomly.
But now I have 14, so you're no longer right. So I had to
Oh.
fix that. I could unlucky number 13. Plus you got it right. I was like, something's not right with the universe. Got to fix it. I got recommendations for deck number 15 and 16. Let me know. Put them in the chat.
Yeah, this one.
I got that one built. That one's built.
Oh, you can.
I got Enzorok built. I built Piper's list because I love watching Piper play, man. Every time Piper's on stream, bro, just so clean, efficient, quick, good, great plays. It was just perfect. It's flawless watching her play. I can watch her play Pokemon all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump right into it. We got the pre-releases for what the heck is this set called?
Phantasmal Flames.
Phantasmal Flame. I just call it the Charizard set because the Charizards come out.
Charizard set.
We had a local open. Got to get a box early from eBay and opened the SIR and the gold in the same box. So literally, it's just the Charizard set.
That's like $1,500 right there, probably.
Yeah, easy. It's crazy, but all right. Let's talk about. There's 4 pre-release promos that are in this set. You've got the Cerulege, the Zacian, the Flygon, and the Toxtricity. So those are the 4 promos that you can get in your packs this weekend. Parker, which one are you most excited to pull?
So I really like Flygon as a Pokemon. I don't know if it'll be a good card, honestly, sadly, but I think play-wise, it's got to be the Toxtricity. But the Flygon's cool.
We could put the Flygon on pre-release. Once
Oh,
during
in
the turn,
pre-release, yeah.
when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. You can also use the ability of Pokemon's in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack. So you can use it twice, which is you don't really see that very much. But it just discards the top 2 cards of your deck, your opponent's deck. Flygon, Scoop Up Cyclone, Flygon. Could you imagine if there was the forest of giant plants for this card?
That'd maybe be good.
Maybe be pretty good. But the Toxtricity you referred to, once during your turn, you can use this ability. Start your deck for a dark energy card and attach it to one of your benched dark Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck. And if you did this, attach energy this way, place 2 damage cards on the Pokemon, and Gentle Slap for double dark colorless does 100 damage. But great ability on a dark Pokemon here. I do think this card will see some competitive play. It will definitely see competitive play in GLC. Energy acceleration like that in GLC on a stage 1 is broken. That's very good in GLC. The Zacian has the limit break attack for a psychic and a colorless. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, this attack does 90 more damage and it does 50 base. Again, GLC card in my opinion, 130 HP. You hit for 140. Pretty good. It's definitely going to be good in pre-release format when after 1 prize they're already at 3. I always hate cards like these in GLC. They feel like kind of cheating. Not in GLC, sorry, in pre-release. In pre-release.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where it's the 3 prizes, or if it's you start at 4. So, and the Cerulege, this card I actually really like, and I think it could potentially find a way into some builds of Cerulege. Infernal Slash for a single fire does 220. Discard 4 basic fire energy from your hand. If you can't discard 4 cards this way, this attack does nothing. I'll tell you what, if I get this card from my pack, my deck is 4 Charks, 4 Cerulege, and so many energies.
Yeah.
because all you gotta do is get two Cerula to set up, and you're just swinging.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Um, yeah, I really like these promos. I think I want to get the Cerula Edge just because like I'm a Cerula Edge believer, and I think this card could be good. You could build like a Cerula Edge deck with like superior energy retrieval based deck. You know, and then you only need one big Cerula Edge hit at the end of the game or something. I don't know. I could see it. Could see it.
Hmm. Yeah. For
Um,
sure.
some other cards to watch out for in your kits, Parker. What other cards should people be watching out for in their kits?
So I think like Dawn is probably gonna be like a pure staple. So what Dawn does, you search your deck for a basic, a stage one, and an evolution
That's
Pokemon
so good.
in your hand. Yeah. Like not in pre-release, but and like you could grab Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Mega Venusaur, and just go Stadium plop. And like I don't know, that seems pretty good.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, there's probably like if you open one of the like bigger evolution lines, I guess just Flygon. Uh, it's probably a really good card to play in that
Yeah.
deck. We got the Oricorio Charizard. If you happen to pull both of these, congratulations. You probably just have won the pre-release.
You gotta pull the
Um,
Charizard line also. Gotta get the
yeah,
Charmander
that's true. That's
Charmeleon.
true. That's true.
That's the hard
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Good 80 HP Charmander. It's got free flight, so it have no energy. It has zero retreat cost.
But it's not
Also,
pop and searchable.
it is not, but the 1 for 20 also kills Badoo.
That's pretty good actually.
Um,
Yeah. Over
yeah,
20.
Charmeleon 110 hits for 1 for 40, also KOs Badoo. And then you evolve up into this big behemoth Mega Charizard X EX. It's got 360, 90 times to discard any amount of fire among your Pokemon.
You wanna hear a question that I was very sad I had to ask last week?
What's that?
I had to ask like people that knew Pokemon better than me. Like, why is there a Mega Charizard X and a Mega Charizard Y? Like, what is the difference? I just like
What?
didn't know there was like a couple of different like megas. Like, I thought it was like, oh,
I really thought there was going to be a Mega Charizard Z.
I mean, there
I
still might. I mean, they could still
like
make it.
DLC. Yeah,
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 like the
yeah. I guess that's
DLCs,
true.
they could make it later. You
I
never
was really
know.
surprised there wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah. I really like the Empoleon. It might just be because I
Oh,
like Empoleon as a Pokemon. Its ability prevent all effects of attacks done to this Pokemon by all your opponent's Pokemon. So like Confusion with Monkey Dory or Phantom Dive with Dragapult or Evolution. You can't evolve this guy. Like pretty solid. And then it's got 320, 3 for 210, and you take 60 less. That's pretty solid, I think. You can heal it up with this next card, the Jumbo Ice Cream
ice cream pop.
or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's if you got 3 energies attached, you can heal 80. So
That's
Napoleon
not
takes
bad.
3 energies. I don't know, maybe that's
All,
something right there.
all the megas take 3 energies, so like there's definitely
Could be
something there.
something. Yeah. Battle Coliseum probably not as usable in pre-release, but if you're tired of those pesky monkey dories, those pesky dusclopses, you can slap this stadium down against your
Wait, does this
opponent.
pop Dusclops too?
It's prevent all damage counters from being placed on bench Pokemon by the effects of attacks or
Or abilities. Oh, sick. Okay. I like it.
um, yeah. So like that probably not great in pre-release, but in regular Pokemon, I mean,
It's a
those
good
are
card.
two of the better cards in format.
Yeah.
And we got Wonder Patch. So if you don't think that Gardevoir's got
Does
enough support, you know,
Gardevoir even play Wonder Patch? Right? They don't play Wonder
no,
Patch.
not right now. But like next, like after rotation, like if Mega Guardy's a thing, like
Bro,
oh
if you open
boy,
Wonder Patch Zacian for your pre-release, you're
yeah,
cooking.
that too.
You're cooking.
You are cooking. You could play it as like a one of in Terra box, maybe to like
Yeah, good.
I don't know. There's application for it.
There's lots of applications. We could play it in a Slow King box.
You could play it in Slow King. Yeah.
We could
Oh
play like a
boy.
we could play like a discard energy, engine of some type, and
Yeah.
we no longer need Zatu. We got Patch. It's fine.
Oh boy.
I really want to cook up something with Vertigo Valley. Have you read this card?
Yeah.
So Vertigo Valley says confused Pokemon, both yours and your opponent, don't recover from confusion when they evolve or devolve. When would this ever be good? Why is this a card? I don't think of a single scenario where I Gardevoir are playing it with their Monkey Dory. What are you trying to do here? I don't know. This seems like
I
probably
don't
the
know.
worst stadium ever printed, in the history of Pokemon.
I don't know. It's probably worse, but I can't really think of anything now. But maybe along the line there'll be a Pokemon that does a basic for 1 energy and does 3 confusion
Maybe,
or
maybe,
something. I don't
yeah.
know, some control strategy.
Maybe there's an ability. I don't know. When you're confused, blah 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 blah. Right? I
Guaranteed
don't
or
know,
something.
man.
I don't know. Yeah.
It seems terrible. I don't like it. Um, I'm looking for the I'm looking for the Mega Low Punny EX and out of my packs. For a single energy Gale Thrust does 60 plus. If this Pokemon was on your bench this turn, this attack does 170 more. So 240, 230 Gale Thrust for a single energy on a 330 HP Pokemon. Pretty good right now. I really like that card. So I think you can throw that in some decks too. I think Sharpedo has some potential.
Yeah.
Got the Hungry Jaw attack. This Pokemon has any damage counters on it. It does 150 more. You can accelerate damage counters with the Toxtricity. So that's how you can make that and play. You can play Monkey Dories because you're playing Dark Energies. So yeah, hitting for 270 plus Monkey Dory, hit for 300 or something like that. That'd be cool. Maybe it's a Copperajah EX plus Mega Sharpedo deck.
Maybe.
Maybe. The Carvana also does damage to itself. If you assault, it does 10 damage to itself. So
Also knocks out Badoo.
also knocks out Badoo.
Yep.
If you have Mega, the Viper is pretty good. If you
Yeah,
have
Sniper's pretty good.
Excite Power, if you have a Dark Mega Pokemon EX in play, this Pokemon attack does 120 more damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. And what's a good Mega for that? Mega Gengar EX.
Mega Gengar EX. Yeah, that would be good.
The attack's pretty good, honestly, but the ability is crazy. So when a dark Pokemon's knocked out from damage from your opponent's EX, they take 1 less prize card.
That's pretty good.
Good.
Good. Efficient attacker or just double dark. That's not too bad.
Yeah, that too.
All right, Parker, gonna hit you with a quick trivia question. How many EXs are in this set?
Oh, God. I think, did we name all of them?
We named most of them.
Gengar, Sharpedo, Putty, Holion, Orcorio, Charizard.
We did not name 2 of them. I'll give you that.
Oh, do I have to name them?
No.
Okay, so then I guess it's 9 then, right?
10. 10 is the number.
10.
Miss Magius, I don't think we talked about Diancie going into Gardevoir. Pretty good.
No.
And then the Heracross. Mega Heracross.
Oh, wait.
So yeah, prepare for your pre-releases this weekend. Good luck with all of your pulls. Hopefully your box is just as busted as our locals was. But next up, we're going to get to Emily Forman, one of our favorite Pokemon TCG casters. Get to her interview. I'm talking all things about how to become a caster. Hi everyone, my name is Eric Ridgway. I'm the host of the Beach Court Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And if you're enjoying it, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe on this video on YouTube. It would really help out the podcast a lot. We've got more episodes, highlights, and more coming your way. Thanks for listening. And now back to the show. All right, welcome back to the Beach Court Podcast. We have one of our favorite people in the entire world, Emily Forman, here. She is a Pokemon caster, former Smash caster, and recent Day 2 finisher in Lille. I'm not going to say it's because of us, but it probably is because of us. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Got the Beach Court buff.
Got the Beach Court buff this week. But congratulations and welcome to the Beach Court Podcast. How
Thank
is it
you.
across the pond?
Certainly something across the pond. As Eric, Parker, and I have learned, daylight savings is not universal yet. So I was about 8 minutes late
But you were
because
also
daylight
52
savings
minutes
here.
early.
Yeah, but daylight savings has not actually happened in the US yet, but it's happened here, which is something very new that I've learned. And that's kind of the experience of living in the UK is just every day I'm learning something new that America does absolutely wrong and everywhere else does really correctly.
Yeah.
So controversial topic ish. Is the way they drive on the road correct, or is the way US drives on the road correct?
So I'm gonna say that the US is the correct way only because we were in Lille last week and in mainland Europe, they drove on the USA side of
Okay.
road. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna say the UK is wrong.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So point one USA, point
Yep.
one UK. We'll keep along
Yeah, we'll
as the
keep a
Yeah, yeah.
tally.
I'll keep a tally. But yeah, thanks for joining. We're really happy to have you here. And for those that don't know you, we've got some questions for people to get to know you. And then we'll jump into obviously your career as a caster and how you've got to where you are. And of course, we'll talk about Lil and your tournament success last week. So let's get right into it. Let's just start with how long have you been playing Pokemon?
So I like to preface this question with I grew up with Pokemon like the rest of the millennials in this
Yeah.
game that, we grew up with it. I didn't find the competitive card game community though until I would say 2021, so
Ooh.
very fresh out of COVID. I waited until events started up, and then I ended up going to my first locals, which was about 2 hours away from my house, with one of my best friends, Kyle Rios, who got me really into the game. And before I moved to the UK, that was the locals that I went to every single week, which was a 2-hour drive up and down, like 4 hours round trip every single week, every single
Jeez.
Wednesday. Big shout outs to Final Turn Gaming in Clifton. Uh, it was just the fact that I was so comfortable there. But yeah, I've been playing for about what, 4 3 I would say I've been through now like 3 full competitive seasons
Okay.
and like 3 and a half then, I guess, since I joined in on like a very tail end of one.
You're like kind of
But
close to when I started. That's when I started too. Was like
Lost
right
Origin
was like
type
yeah,
vibe,
Lost
Silver
Origin time. Yeah,
Tempest.
like Sword and Shield was like my first stuff. Like Crobat
Yeah,
was my jam. Like
I hate you.
vintage
Yeah,
Crobat Draw 6.
stop that.
What was your first
Um
regional that you ever attended for
So,
Pokemon?
fun fact. So this is back when a couple years ago when we still did really fun things for regionals, like they gave you out things. And I
Ah,
think I've made like 4 or 5 tweets about this. So I have a regional die
Oh yeah.
from Overload,
yep.
RIP, miss them.
San Antonio?
Um it was Hartford
Oh,
2023, the last time we
Hartford.
were in Hartford. I drove to my first regional by
Parker, didn't you
myself.
drive to that too?
I drove.
No, I flew actually.
Okay.
Yeah, well, no one wants to drive to Connecticut from Florida, especially. Honestly, I do not blame you
Listen,
guys, but
listen, Emily. Parker does some crazy drives.
I
that
do
doesn't
some
surprise me.
crazy drives.
Listen, when sometimes when it's you in the open road, it's just a very cathartic type of feeling. I totally get it. As somebody who used to drive 2 hours to locals every single week up
That's
and down,
wild, actually. I would never.
that's how
I love
dedicated you gotta
Pokemon,
be.
but I would never.
No, come on.
I literally would never.
Well, yeah, so Hartford 2023 was my first, and then I tried on 4 separate devices to get into NAIC that year, did not get in, so I went as a spectator.
Oh,
Actually, I registered in VGC, played 1 round, dropped, got my swag, and I still have the EV mat. But I tried my
yes,
best in that 1 round.
yes.
Uh, really enjoyed that I really enjoyed that 1 round, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been TCG now ever since.
And we're so happy you're here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Parker, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So you have been playing Pokemon forever. What is your favorite Pokemon? Or like did you have a favorite and it changed? Or
So it always has changed. I would say like with the times, I think like as I grow older, I think like my first favorite Pokemon was like Vulpix because it's fluffy, right? But then
Ooh,
like you get older and then like things change. So obviously like Luxray is like my go-to. And then on the other side, I do have Teal Mask Ogerpon because that's my girl.
nice.
Um Honestly, I loved Ogerpon ever since she came out though. Like not only just from the fact that Teal Mask Ogre Pawnee X is like my favorite card in this format and will be until it rotates, but the fact that I played the Teal Mask DLC and I really resonated with it and I really loved it.
Oh, okay.
And like ever since she just came forward, I'm like, that one. I love that one.
Got it.
So Luxray's cool though. He's a lion cat.
Yeah.
He's mad. He hears through walls, and I think that's really cool. And that's like the Pokemon, like, oh yo, I think that's sick. Like a bunch of Pokemon, like when I talk to a lot of people, they say, like, oh, my favorite Pokemon's like Salamence because it's really cool. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, I'm like, I like Luxray because it can hear through walls, and that's like the level 2.
That's pretty
answer.
good.
But
I'm always a fan when like someone have like not like a starter as a Pokemon, like a Gen 1 starter as a Pokemon as a favorite. Like that's when you know someone loves Pokemon.
that's true.
Unrelated to our list, we have to know now that you've shown a Teal Mask Ogre tattoo. How many Pokemon tattoos do you have?
So, my tattoo journey, as I like to talk about it, started. What's really interesting is that like I come from Super Smash Brothers. Like I was in the Smash community for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
I have no Smash tattoos, not one. And in 3 years that I've been playing Pokemon, I now have 2 tattoos.
Okay, so
I do have, I want to say like close to 8 or 9 tattoos. Like my Pokemon tattoos are like my biggest on my body because I want to like make a whole sleeve. But my first couple tattoos were like Legend of Zelda tattoos because
okay.
super into Zelda. I've always been a Nintendo kid. So Zelda, Pokemon have always just been my jam. I think I went through like a weird phase in life where I kind of like phased out of video games as like kind of a whole.
Hmm.
And went into like the more, if it's so shocking if you know me, the emo alternative music scene. I was like super into going to metal shows and all that stuff. But then post kind of that, I like just sunk my head right back into video games, and that was where Smash started.
Okay, the millennial community has to know now. What's your favorite emo band?
Ooh, that's really hard because I really like a lot.
There's a lot of good emo bands.
Okay, so I'm gonna say like old emo. So my first emo concert when I was like a little shrimp, and it was like my brother was going, and my parents made him take me with him. Type of vibe. I went to see in 2014 My Chemical Romance and Blink 182.
Yes,
And that was my first show.
listen,
Like,
I've always wanted to see My Chemical Romance, and
they're banger live.
next year they're coming to Rockville, which is
Of
down
course.
here in Florida, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go. I'm definitely going.
I've been dying to go to a music festival out here. So, System of a Down is like also like one of
Stop.
my favorite like bands ever.
We're like
And they're
connecting
coming
on
to
so
you.
many levels right here. System of
I
Down is
know.
actually my favorite.
You know why, Eric? It's because we're close to 30. Everybody close to 30 gets this way.
I'm closer to 40 than I am. 30.
Yeah, you're not that close to 30.
Okay, well, I tried to help you, Eric. I'm sorry. Anyway, so System of a Down is coming to the UK, and I missed out on getting like actual normal price tickets, and I'm not going to spend £500 on tickets. If you don't know, the pounds to dollar conversion is not in our favor by
Is that
any
like
chance.
$800? Is that like 800?
Yeah, yeah, close to that.
All right, so if you're listening to this podcast and you're a fan of the lyric, or Emily is part of the Pokemon community, please find Emily some tickets to System of a Down. Sincerely, Beach Court Podcast.
Either coast, man. I'll fly back for it. Like you have no idea. But yeah, so
I
did
watch them all the
emo-
time. I'm like, where are they touring? Like, are they maybe
Oh,
coming
they're-
to Florida? Like, I'm always like watching them.
So a lot of my locals went to go see them in New York at
Yeah.
MetLife Stadium or whatever, wherever they were. And my local said it was like the best show ever, and I'm so jealous. But yeah, I did emo stuff for a long time. And then I just kind of got into gaming again, and that was kind of my life, like the moment I stepped back into it. Like I felt
Okay.
like as a
Yeah.
kid growing up, I think I have like the very stereotypical, I'm the weird kid growing up, and I don't really have a community of my own, like in person. And now I've met all these cool people online at events, at shows.
Yeah.
And now I'm just flying random places
Love
to
it.
go hang out with my
I
friends.
love it. Yeah, I mean, we kind of hear that like some of your hobbies outside of Pokemon are like, music and,
Yeah.
Playing video games and stuff. So
Mhm.
we don't have to ask what your favorite hobby is outside of Pokemon.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's-
weird because I thought about this question a lot when you
Okay.
sent it over to me.
All right, I
and
wanna hear it.
honestly, I don't have any. Like,
Well, you just told us like a couple of hobbies,
Yeah,
right?
like
you just-
music,
those are-
right? But like going to a show, like going to concerts, right? But like
That's a great hobby.
No, but here's my thing, Erica. Like when I think of hobbies, I think of like knitting. Like I don't knit or
Oh,
like
oh,
do anything
okay.
productive. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
Like,
know, another favorite hobby of yours is hanging out with your cat.
oh,
You love
I
your
love
cat,
that
right?
cat.
Like that's
He's actually sleeping right on the clothes I'm supposed to pack for tomorrow, but that's fine. He's
love
cute.
that. Love that. So what's it like moving across the ocean? I mean, like a lot of people like, saw your journey doing this, like, wow, that's a big move. Someone probably thought, right? So like, what's it been like for you moving across the pond?
So it's definitely interesting, right? I knew when Joe had asked me because I didn't spring it on him. He had asked me to make the jump and make the move, that it was a really big kind of deal. And the fact that it really happened really quickly, like we had to do the paperwork, we had to like spend all this money and get me over here. And whenever I talk to somebody like from the UK about this, like there's a very like weird thing because I think playing Pokemon over here is so different. I'm really kind of touch starved for Pokemon over here. We don't really live in an area with multiple shops. UK is very different Pokemon environment where you're playing best of 3 challenges. You're playing best of 3 Swiss into best of 3 top cut for cups. You could play a whole tournament and go home with 0 points after playing 5 rounds of best of 3, and that has happened to me, and I have not left a happy camper, um,
See,
which is not my.
there's two sides of the story. Like you say that, I'm like, I love that. Right?
Yeah,
These best of one
until
challenges,
you
and you're
only
like,
have 8 people at this challenge, like,
you're like
that's another thing, though, like,
like
you
Rick
only have
versus
8
little
people at the.
Timmy, like best of one challenge.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? You only have 8 people at that challenge, so you lose 1 set and you're like, all you need is a 1st or a 2nd, like, that could be gone like that.
Sure, sure.
So there's definitely a double-edged sword. I think for me, right, where I started playing Pokemon, which is the Northeast, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York area,
Right, right.
uh, there was a weird time where it was like, "Hey, okay, I didn't do well at this cup in the morning. Well, in 2 hours, there's a cup 10 minutes down the road that's gonna just do it again, and I can send it again, right?"
Right.
And I honestly, I was really spoiled by that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I could go play multiple tournaments in a day, or for example, like my old judge used to do, "All right, everybody do the cup, and anybody who doesn't make top 8 will just run the challenge right after," and, like, you could play 2 things in one day,
Love
right?
that. That's great, actually. Yeah.
In the UK, the judges don't really talk to each other like that, and I've already, like, talked this isn't, like, me throwing shade at the
Sure,
UK
sure.
judges because
Yeah.
I've already told all of this. Um, so this is like, they don't really talk to each other like that, so they all can host on the same day, and, once again, best of 3, and, it starts really early. We are leaving to go to a cup or a challenge 8, 8:30, sometimes 7, because it's so far. Like, there's not that much Pokemon here. Getting product out here, nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Well,
I
it can't
didn't
be
get
worse
to
than the US anymore.
no, you would I got to open my first box of Mega Evolution 2 weeks ago.
Parker, how much have you opened?
I mean, I am like a judge box, but I didn't get it.
We're not getting anything over here, Emily.
That's really I mean, I guess where I was in the Northeast, I was really blessed with, like, a lot of shops that was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, we're gonna prioritize to locals." Like, if you
yeah.
come to my local, you got a box, like, you won't pay that much higher than MSRP.
Everyone
But
here is like,
here
you're at 350 a box, bro.
yeah, that's crazy, but they'll say 350 pounds, which is once again higher than much higher than MSRP. Like, I think on Mega Evolution release day, Joe and I were able to go to a place called Forbidden Planet, which was a chain, and we could buy 4 packs each, and we opened 8 packs of Mega Evolution, and that was all that we got to open for like 2, 3 weeks.
I mean, that's better than what we did. So you're living. You're living.
I guess I'm living.
All right, Parker, you wanna take the next one?
Yeah. So, what is your biggest dream to accomplish if you haven't accomplished it already?
In Pokemon or in life?
Both.
Anything. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so let's start with life because I think that's
I
much
think
more
I know your
fun.
Pokemon dream.
Oh, of course. My goal, if I stay in the UK, because my visa is up in December, and if I'm not 50-50 and yada yada, I would like to own a home in the US and own a home in the UK so I can go back and forth seamlessly without
Mhm.
just, kicking the door through my mom's house and being like, I'm home. Like, I'm sleeping on the couch for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to be successful enough in whatever I do to
Yeah,
own property. That would be really rad.
that's pretty
Uh,
cool.
um, Also, just for me, like, probably being financially stable, as sad as it sounds, that is such a dream for a
I
lot of
mean,
That's my
people.
dream.
that's all three of our. I mean, that's the
I would like
American
to
dream,
wake up
honestly.
one day and not worry about money, like,
Yeah,
and not worry about, like, okay, maybe we have to penny pinch here or there, but believe it or not, in the UK, like, my standard of living has decreased by, like, 70%. Like, our grocery shop every week is the same price as if I was doing it in the States for one, and we can live on a week and a half, with
that's
the
good.
prices out
Yeah,
here.
that's
So,
nice.
very interesting, but yeah, that's my dream, is to, like, live in a world where I don't have to stress about money. I think a lot of people our age are like, "Man, I hate money." Like, all
Yeah.
of us hate money, like,
Yeah, yeah, it's
and it's
tough.
something that, like, our parents' generation will just never understand. They'll be like, "Well, I did it this way. Why can't you do it?" And things have changed over,
A
of course,
lot.
the past 20,
Yeah.
30 years. Pokemon, if it's not obvious, I'm a caster. I would love to cast Worlds.
Yep.
Small step, I wanna cast my first IC this season.
Yep.
It's not up to me. It's up to a couple people up at the top, but, I
You're
guess,
listening
like,
to this
the
podcast. We love Emily, and she's the best caster in the world, and you should let her
no, come
cast
on.
IC.
But I think, like, that's, like, my long-term goal is, like, okay, I've
Sure.
casted Worlds, then what? Like, my short-term goal, regional over regional, is always to improve. That's just, like, the biggest thing, and especially because, like, this is my first cast in 5 months. Like, I have not been on that desk since Portland. I'm hungry for it.
Yeah,
I
speaking of
really,
which,
really do
you
need
got
it.
opportunity coming this weekend to improve. So
Yeah,
congratulations on, getting good dance and have a
thanks.
lot of fun. Practice your Polish names.
Nope, not gonna happen. I've already told them, I was like, "If please just, like, write it out as phonetically as
Because
possible."
I must say that's the one thing that was like this weekend I'm impressed about on the caster desk. I was like, Jesper was like them all.
Clean. He's clean with it too. He
He's
he
so
absolutely,
clean with it.
yeah, absolutely. And I think he's Danish, right? So he's from,
Yeah,
like, mainland Europe, and I think,
yeah.
I mean, Freya lives in Denmark, right? With her husband, but she born and raised a Brit, and everybody else on the casting team is a Brit. So, they don't really go into mainland Europe like that. But Jesper on
On
it
it,
like a
on it.
super well.
All right, well, let's jump into casting. Because that's what most people are here to kind of listen to, right? There's
Sure.
been a lot of talk on on social media this week, and there's people that want to learn how to
Yeah.
how to cast and what the journey looks like to cast and how to improve, right? Everything has to be earned out here. So, tell us a little bit, like, what was your first ever cast, and what was the journey like to kind of get there?
So I've been thinking about this section a lot, because do you want this from the Pokemon perspective or
No,
from the I've been casting for a lot
yeah,
longer than you guys
I
have met
think
me?
it's from when you start, right? Because
Sure.
I think I know you well. Most Pokemon community might not, right? But
That's
you
fair.
came from Smash. You were in
Yep.
Smash for 10 years, right? So when you came to Pokemon, it was very kind of like, oh, there's this awesome caster who's interested in casting. Yes, let's explore this, right? But
Right.
like that wasn't always the case for you. At some point in your career, you had to work for it, and you had to make your name, right? So talk
Right.
about like a little bit about like the what was your first ever like not a cast ever in your career,
Sure.
and what was it like working to get that accomplishment?
So it's very interesting, because I come from what I'd like to call a couch esport, right? Like, Super Smash Brothers is a esport before it got, like, to where it was now. You played it on your couch with a friend, you know what I mean? Like, it really wasn't, and it still isn't, as much as the community doesn't want it to be. It doesn't want to be this mega esport, right? The Smash community doesn't want to be parented by Nintendo. Um, so I come from this place where commentary wasn't suit and tie and professional and terminology, right? So I'm coming from Smash in, hey, like, we have two microphones set up at our local. Go on ahead and, talk trash on your friend. Like, that was my first cast, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about, like, how technical that,
Sure.
like, button sequence was. I'm talking about how my friend missed, like, a turn, like a frame 1 tap jump, and he sucks, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely not, it's not, like, professional from the start. So I think it's really interesting coming from the couch esports, where it was really just, all right, welcome on, here you go. Um But I never really, this is what I tell everybody, I never chased the idea of being a caster. That wasn't like I sat down one day and I said, I would like to be a caster. Um, what had happened was there was a giant Smash tournament at a anime convention, and my friend had messaged me. He was the head organizer, and he said, "Hey, one of my casters dropped out. Can you step in? Uh, I see your streams. You do like arenas, like Wi-Fi arenas where people play each other over the internet. Casting is the same thing as streaming. Just do it. And can you just like help me out? We'll get you in for the weekend." And I thought, like, yo, free pass to the weekend. I'm so gonna do that. Like, why not? I'll be a caster. And I went to this tournament. I did absolutely horrible because that's what you do. And like your first cast should never be perfect and it should never be amazing, right? Especially because I'm coming in and like I'm not a caster in my head, right? I'm just filling in for a spot. And then people saw me do it once. And then other friends who were tournament organizers said, "Hey, saw you casted that event a couple months ago. You want to cast this event now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like another free ticket. I'll do it." Like, and then funnily enough, you know, it was a bigger event than that one. And I started getting hate because I was terrible. And like people were telling me I was terrible. And I was like, wait, hold on. I don't want people to think I suck. So I started to put into time into it. And then I was driving out to locals once again, right before, you know, before Pokemon, right? During this like um right when I picked up casting. I was driving to locals every week, jumping on the mic, you know, practicing commentary for the first time. And I would say like I said, it's just not something that fell into my it's something that fell into my lap. It's not something like
Sure.
I would like to be a caster right here right now and that's
Sure.
what I'm going to do. But it was the fact that I kept doing it over and over again, and I really didn't wanna suck. Like, that was my big thing is like, you know what? If these people are gonna, you know, granted, Smash Brothers commentary doesn't pay you anything compared to Pokemon. You know, I got paid $50 my first, like, time doing multiple hours of commentary. But I thought to myself, "You know what? If these people are gonna pay me to bring me out, I gotta do a better job than what I'm doing." So I started to do research into commentary because, I'm a big esports person.
Yep.
My favorite esport for a long time, and it still will always be low key deep down inside. League of Legends always will have my heart. It's world season right now. You get to see
Yeah.
like the creme de la creme casters, and I just kept studying what they did. Really like looking into like what does a play by play caster mean? Like, and I just found one of the casters, Captain Flowers, who's like the god of play by play casting. Like the way he wove his casting lines, the way he wove his story together, like when he was casting, was something that like spoke to me. That's something I wanted to produce for Super Smash Brothers. And I just kept doing it and doing it. And it was just, there were times, and it was never something along the lines of, all right, guys, I'm a caster now. But it was like, hey, I'm on this journey myself. I'm talking about my journey on my page because, hey, guys, guess what? Like, hey, I'm casting this local again. Hey, I'm casting this local again. Hey, I'm casting this local again. And it's just about what I'd like to like, because the whole thing has brought a lot of people to me. And I totally understand because I'm the new girl on the block on TCG, right? Even though I've been here a full season, but now Azul's on the cast. So technically I got a season under my belt, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's about just like showing up and doing it because you love it, not because like there has to be a goal at the end, right? Because that's what keeps you going. But showing up and doing a cast just because you want to try it, just because you want to do it, like that is what is going to get you through the door, even if there's no people watching. And that was a big thing when I started casting. We'll transition into Pokemon. My first Pokemon broadcast was at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing a late night, uh, like when Late Night by Shuffle Squad was
Yeah. Late
around,
night. Yeah.
of 4 a.m. my time. Me and my best friend Kyle, once again, riffing on because we were casters. We want to make it in Pokemon and we just want to like cast the game. We casted for 0 people multiple weeks in a row, but it was something that we wanted to do and we liked it and we kept doing it. And it wasn't about getting recognition. It wasn't because there was nobody watching. There was no recognition at all to have like to go live at 1:30 in the morning, you know, watching Snorlaxes just pass back and forth. Like, that wasn't fun, but you know what? Like that's like that's what late night developed into at certain points was like, hey, we got nothing, pass, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
But
funny.
like the late I know Michaela Optimal 60, I think their at is, has started an initiative to cast with regionals and stuff while
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
on. I
Yeah.
think for anybody who's listening who wants to get into commentary, that and Tournament of Doom, because I've seen Tournament of
Yeah.
Doom have an open casting call for months,
I just did
years.
my
I
first
haven't been
tournament
able.
doing it. It was great. I had so much
Right.
fun.
I Now here's the thing. I've never seen like people like really flock to it for casters, right? I never got to cast it because it was the same day as locals and it was just like, oh, it's just like by the time I get back I'm going to go straight to bed. But these online initiatives that
Yeah.
people are starting where anybody can do it, anybody can call in. You don't have to be a caster after that. You know what I mean? If you
Right.
tried, you don't like it, you tried it. You know what I mean? But these online initiatives that people are starting, that people are doing, I mean, I know Boo, Wancho, and Jeremy were all at that last optimal. I know their name's Michaela. I know their Twitter ad is optimal60. I just don't know where to find the stream just because I was at Leal.
I
But
think
I know
it was on
I'm
Twitch. I'm pretty sure.
okay, it was on Twitch. Like those are 3 people right there that are on TPCI streams, you know what I mean? Like there are your resources right there that you
Oh, it
can
looks
talk
like it
to.
was on YouTube, actually. Yeah, it was on
Okay.
YouTube.
But still like getting in your reps in no matter which way you can. Also just the fact I've seen a lot of people have come to me, sent me their casting just on their own specific YouTube channels. Like, "Hey, I casted over this match. I uploaded it to YouTube. I uploaded my thoughts. Can you watch it?" Like making casting content in whatever way you want to, like that is the best way to open your like first cast up.
Yeah, I think for me, what really resonates in there, and I can relate it to my career, because that's what casting is, right? If you're trying to go down that route, it really is like you're trying to work, right? Like it's not,
Yeah.
it's work, right?
It is work.
What one thing that has made me successful in my like personal career is networking, and
Yeah.
what I heard there
We
from
don't.
you was
Mhm.
like you kind of got that first opportunity, and the way you got that first opportunity is probably because you were networking with these people, and they knew you, and they knew you're a great personality and a great person,
Right.
and they had a situation when they needed someone. They're like, hey, like Emily seems great for this. Let's give her a shot, right? Like,
It's also just like to build off your point, right? Like casting is a job for a lot of people. Like my also dream in life would be like the full-time caster life where I'm, doing 4 or 5 different games and then like every weekend I'm doing something like uh Rosemary, Necra, VG's like very own Sierra. Those two are titans in the casting world where they are known for multiple games, right? And that those are 2 women that I super look up to because they really do live the dream. They do multiple games at a top level. They do casting for a living. Um, it's definitely yes about connections, which is why for me, like when I came into this game and I was playing it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I will never win a regional. The chance, the actual percentage of players that win a regional insanely low, right?
extremely
Like
low.
0.00001, right, of players who actually win
Definitely
regionals.
less than 0.5%.
Right. And when I came into this community, I said, I'm already a caster. I'm a decently large size caster. Like I was doing top 8, top 4, ends of tournaments at S tier events for Smash, thousands and thousands of viewers, like getting flown out to cast big shows with Nintendo. Nintendo had social media checked me and I was on some of their shows. And I said, you know what? Like when I do this Pokemon thing, I want to be a caster. Like I came in wanting to be a caster and I did everything I thought I could to try and pivot everything I've ever done to casting. I think a big thing when people are like, "Oh, I want to be a caster." It's like, absolutely, have the technology to do it. Have like your actual casting like verbatim and all that stuff, right? But like who are you outside of the booth? That's like a big thing for me is that
Big thing.
my big goal is that I don't want anyone to ever feel like they can't come up and talk to me. Like that's why I go to locals all over the world like now or when I was in the states like I would go to locals in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut like I want to play the game as much as possible because one that helps my casting, but two people actually know me. Like I think when you're like in your community, right? Like you have to be like in it to understand it to be able to give that game justice. Like when I tell you that in my first season, I went to 7 out of 9 regionals that we had planned that time and I didn't day 2 any of them and I was just there to play, do my best. If I didn't day 2, which I didn't day 2 at all, but, to be there with my friends, to meet people, to, like, be a part of the community, that's what helped my casting the most because I felt like I was with my people and because I already had known, like, how to cast, right? I already knew how to cast. I already knew, like, my terminology, like, CTAs, lower thirds, throws, like, those technical terms, I already knew all of that. It was, what is the game that I'm trying to cast here? Who are the people I'm going to be casting for? What do they like in a caster? What don't they like in a caster? And I still do that where I still meet people and I still ask them like if you've listened to my commentary, do you like it? Do you not feel free to tell me that you don't like my commentary? This is a learning moment for me.
Yeah. That's all great insight. Parker, you got anything to any follow-up questions for any of that there?
Yeah, so you mentioned the path up and everything, but what do you think was like your first breakthrough? Where were you like, ah, I did that. Like I'm heard.
So it's definitely really hard to say before I like landed with actual like TPCI. Um I think there's like a very realistic route with all of this where I did late nights for 8, 9 months, no viewers, no avail. And my I made it moment was when, I got when they noticed me. Um, because I think that's like the hardest part of this whole thing is getting them to notice you.
Yeah.
And I will say they're definitely looking out now into, big Pikachu sees all, of course, that's really important. And they're definitely looking, right? And you should always assume that they're looking. You should always put your best foot forward in social media and anything you do, right? Um, I I have to say, like, my breakout moment had to have been like when they had seen all of the work I had done and they were like, "Hey, this is great. I'll send you over a contract July 1." And I signed that contract and I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm actually going to do this." And
Yeah.
I had messaged like 2 to 3 casters that I already had like small conversations with of like, "Hey, oh my god, I just signed this piece of paper. What do I do now?" Of like, how do I prepare properly? Because at this point I was studying this whole game, but I felt like I was just kind of like throwing darts at a dartboard. I was like, "All right, I need to know like the
Let's
history."
be real. Let's be real. Emily, you were just heel dancing, okay? Like
It's true, it's
you were just
fair.
heel dancing around everything.
Yeah. So, I was just like, "Okay, where do I start? Like, what do I need to know?" And it was really funny because Ethan Heggie used to be one of my locals. He started playing Pokemon
Oh.
around where I was originally playing Pokemon, and I had gone up to him and I was like, "Hey, listen, I just signed my papers. What do I do now?" And he was just saying, "I'm gonna tell you something right now. Your first season is all going to be about learning." And I was just like, "But I already know everything. I'm a caster. I've been a caster for a long time. Like, I know everything." And I told him in Portland, because we were on the same show in Portland, that he was 100% right. Because even now, as a caster, even after 4 or 5 years of me doing this for different games now underneath my belt, even after working for Nintendo, Bandai Namco, like doing PAX Arena and all that stuff, I still learn things
Yeah.
like every single time. And I think the casters that are like, well, look at me, I should cast Pokemon tomorrow. Like, you have no idea how much learning you do just in doing one cast. So yeah, the breakout moment was definitely like, of course, signing the paper. But if you know me, the Cyndaquil clip from Baltimore
That's a
last
good clip.
season is
That's a
like
good clip.
it's really funny because I had asked, and another big thing, you should always ask for feedback in everything that you do, but like casting 100%. I had asked for mid show weekend feedback, and TPCI proper, like head producer, was like, "Hey, like we just need a little bit more energy out of you." And because I'm very anxious as a human being, I have a lot of mental health diagnoses and stuff. Instantly, my brain just went to, "I'm gonna lose my job if I don't do something absolutely insane right now." So, like, going out into that crowd, and luckily for me, I would not have done that if I didn't know at least 10 people in that crowd because
Yeah.
that was my hometown regional, so I was able to, like, rally up a crowd.
Shout out PJ.
Scream. Yeah, shout to BJ, 'cause I didn't even know that happened until the producer came to me and she was like, "Did you have somebody lift up a chair?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She showed me the clip and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know." My therapist
Oh.
doesn't even believe that was me. She said like something came over me and something did, but that was definitely like my breakout moment. It was just because like I felt like I was known on like a local level, like all of my like local friends knew me and like I'm a woman on the internet and on Twitter, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Enough people
sure.
see me there.
Sure.
But I felt like I wasn't like that caster. I was just like the new person, but I wasn't that caster until like something like that had happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's fair.
what is the clip? I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
Oh, it's like where she like hypes up the crowd, or I don't remember the exact like clip.
oh
I'll
God.
insert it. Insert
it's
clip here.
Quill, Emily, it's all on you.
Listen, if I am Cyndaquil's representative, look how many people I have here out on the ground cheering for Cyndaquil. It's my first regional on the desk, and I'm hitting finals this strong right here, right now. Cyndaquil's gonna take it all the way. I don't even need 30 seconds to tell you I've been defending it to the core. Look at all these people behind me. I definitely have it. It does not matter. Cyndaquil forever. Here we go, putting Kyle to shame.
And then we'll talk about it. But it's basically where like
We do the community bracket, you know, where it's like, oh, like what Pokemon? Like we
Oh,
did
right,
like
yeah,
best
yeah, it was
partner
that.
Pokemon
Best partner
uh,
Pokemon, yeah.
because fun fact, starter is not a technical term. It's your first
It's
partner
partner
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah, I knew
First
that.
partner Pokemon. That is your words.
Hmm.
And I had Cyndaquil because I really wanted Cyndaquil, and Cyndaquil made it all the way to the finals. And basically, it was like, hey, we need just like a little bit more time before grand final starts. You can either go defend your Cyndaquil in the lounge, or you can, you know, take this camera crew out into the crowd. But like, you don't have to. And I was like, no, I want that.
So she like took it out in the crowd, like got some people behind her, and like was like hyping up Cyndaquil to try and get the chat to vote on Cyndaquil and stuff. And then
Let me tell you,
PJ's in the corner like waving a
yeah,
chair.
he
like-
literally picked up a chair. Let me tell you, the best way, the easiest way to get crowd participation in anything you do is just say who wants to be on camera.
That's
And
right.
like 17 little kids just like jumped up.
Yeah.
Like everybody jumped up. My friends did it. Like it was I have a clip. for
Everybody's
you.
currently jumping up trying to get on camera here on the Beach Court podcast, but
Yeah,
only
it's
Emily
fair.
can
I've
do
been
it.
dying to get
Right.
on this for 2 years.
And, you know, it's really funny you say that though, because I was talking to Parker before we came on, and I remember I was like, you know, maybe after your first day 2 or something, we can have you,
You did
on.
tell me that.
but we booked this before you got your first day 2, so I'm taking credit for the first day 2 because we
Oh.
booked this, and I said that 2 years ago.
That's
and,
fair.
And then you got so now I have to have you on
It was-
every week that you're
it
gonna
was-
play.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
playing this weekend, but yeah, no.
Well, next time you're playing, you let me know. We'll get a little clip in there.
Not for a while.
Cynical.
Yeah. Yeah, send a clip. There you go. You got the reference now. So you mentioned a couple of things. I want to touch on a couple of things. One, I want to touch on some of the acronyms that you said.
Sure.
Because I can't repeat them. My memory's terrible.
CTA. Yep.
But those are all those acronyms are, you know, casting acronyms that casters should know, right? So if someone wanted to learn about like these acronyms or any technical details about casting, you know, when it comes to Pokemon, most of our people here are listening playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
We know we have Limitless TCG. We know we have, you know, PokeData.ovh. We got all these resources. What are some of your favorite like casting resources?
My peers.
My peers. So just
My
like just
peers.
talking to people.
My friends, like the people, or honestly, I'll be 100% genuinely honest with you. There's been a big push for women casters on Twitter. I'm loving it, right? Because everybody should want to cast. If you want to cast, you should be able to. Period, point blank. You should be able to find a path, work towards it, you know, be a caster. And if you do your first broadcast on one of the community streams and you don't like it, all right, that's fine. You tried. But for the people that took it seriously, and I know this is my path, right? I can't speak to anybody else's path but mine.
Yep.
When I had a question about something in my head, I'd always go to a peer. My DMs are always open. Like I've had a lot of questions, or people ask me questions about, you know, what it's like, how do I get in, like how did you start, you know what I mean? And my DMs are open. I know everybody's DMs are always open. I know it's very intimidating sometimes to
Sure.
message somebody of stature. I hate that's also another reason why I want people to like see me at the tables and be like, oh wow, like Emily's here with the tables with all of us, right? Like just because I get to talk into a microphone for TPCI doesn't mean that I'm better than you or anybody else. You know what I mean? Like I'm you know, as I'd like to tell people, I was on Bourbon Street with all y'all that one night. You know what I'm
That was a
saying?
lot of
Like,
fun. That was a lot of fun.
it was
We,
my
we were
favorite
also
night.
under the bridge in San Antonio. That was also a lot of fun.
That was a great night where
That
you
was
guys were
that.
trying to get me to tell you where the final regional of the season was, and I was just like, I
No,
don't
we
know.
didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, like
I wasn't there, so
my whole thing is that the community is a lot smaller. Believe it or not, the community is a lot smaller than Smash. There may be thousands and thousands more players, right? But like
Yeah.
you can like there's nothing stopping anybody from DMing anybody on the broadcast team, right? I can't speak for like my teammates. I can speak like whether they'd like sit down and have like a Discord call, but I've done that with people. I've sat down and had like 2-hour Discord calls with people. Like my DMs are always open. Um I want people to ask me. Like that's how I learned because I was brave enough to go and ask somebody else. Like
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, by the way, like when I started casting, like, hey, like and especially because a lot of the casting terminology came like during my first professional show. Here's the thing about casting that nobody's going to tell you. When you make it, there's no like 100 level course of like, okay,
Right.
here's your first
Right.
professional cast. Like when I tell you like Baltimore, it was like, hey, you're on with Jeremy. You're on round 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. Go. Like, and it was just put on the headset and go. I bombed my first regional. I know it wasn't good on the desk, but you got to think about like that. It's back there, right? And like, there is a professional standard that you got to hit. Like, and that's like a big thing. But, you know, before I went to Baltimore, Jeremy and I had a 2-hour call, like Joe and I, before, you know, we were dating. And we were just talking commentary, wanting to learn more. 6, 8-hour calls just about commentary. Like my DMs are open. That's what I tell everybody. Please feel free. Like I already have some sit down conversations on Sunday of Vegas of people that want to like talk about trying to get into casting. Like
That's awesome.
talk to us. Like talk.
That's awesome.
Like I said, I can't speak for everybody. Maybe I don't know. I mean, all of the casters are super kind. Like I think the team is very well spirited. I'm honored to be on a team with, you know, some of the best of the best that we'll ever see in period point blank. Like
Seriously, yeah.
sometimes like I look back at that Portland roster and I'm like, I was there. Like I'm on the same broadcast as Buka. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
There's
I
some
can't
really
speak
good
for
casters. You
everybody
guys
on
are
like
all good.
how often they respond to their DMs, but like I'm terminally online. Like go ask me. Like I learned from somebody else who I messaged, you know what I mean? Let me pass on my
Yeah.
information and what I know to you. Just be genuine, you know what I mean? That's all I ask. I've had a lot of people just not recently, but like a long while back were like, "Hey, I want to be like you. Like how do I do it?" I soaked in a ton of time and then they'd be like, "Well, that doesn't sound right." And I'm like, "What do you want me to tell you?" I'm here, you know.
Well,
What
you
I
know,
mean?
yeah, that happens a lot even here at my house. So my wife will ask me a question, I'll give her the answer and be like, I'm sorry you don't like the answer, but that's the answer.
Right.
Anyways, let's move on. Last question before we move on to your little tournament run and talking about Terror Box a little bit.
Yeah.
The biggest question that no one knows how to answer. There is no Pokemon casting call. It's not really a thing. There's no place to go press the apply button. What are like some of your, obviously they can reach out to you and learn a little bit more, but what are some of your kind of like suggestions or paths you took to kind of like get your name there, like to like ask like, hey, or at least let people know you're interested in it, right? Like
Sure.
how, like was there anything like that? Is there anything like that?
Here's what I'll tell you. Do it because you love it, not because you want to get noticed. That is my biggest thing.
Perfect.
I casted for 0 people every Wednesday night for a couple of months because I love casting. I want to like eventually build up my repertoire, or I wanted to do what I do now. Um it's hard work. Like it is. I think you know, it's also weirdly enough for a lot of people that are like, well, where's the application, right? I can once again tell you about my journey. I can't tell you about everybody else's journey because everyone else's journey is different than mine, right? I'm coming in. I remember for a lot of people, I came in casting already. Like I came in with, you know, having a Nintendo approval. That's a big thing. Like to be on Nintendo's, you
Right.
know, channels to cast Super Smash Brothers. You needed approval. Like you needed people to look up and down your social media. Um, I it's a game of vouches. I didn't realize this, but until I had conversations with people, but people saw my casting reel, which was just, clips and it's pinned right on my Twitter. You can go look and it's just some of my best commentary clips and they sent it along to the producers at TBCI and they said, "Hey, she would be cool." And I didn't know this, but 3 casters, not just TCG, different casters had seen my work and they were like, "Hey, she would be cool to have." And you know what that is? Like you said, Eric, connections, getting to know people,
Connections. Yeah.
talking to people, right?
Yeah.
But talking to people genuinely. And that's another big thing. Like you cannot be like in somebody's DMs, like, "Yo, I'm trying to get the hookup to go cast for Pokemon." You know what I mean? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
they're like, "Yo, help me out."
Yeah, you're right.
It's really about like coming in and being like, "Hey, I want to be a better Pokemon caster." I think the TCG team now has like 9 casters. Like there's a lot of people already on board, and
And
of
it's
course
gonna
there's
grow.
always
I mean, it's not going anywhere.
right, and
It's only going up.
there's always space to grow.
We obviously need a second team because this weekend we don't have anyone in Brisbane. So we
Oh
need a
yeah.
second team.
I personally think, yeah. I mean, that's all. Trust me, I want to work. Like when I got this opportunity, fun fact, a lot of people think it was in, um, it was kind of, oh, there's a lot of discourse. Let's bring Emily over for this. This was in plans for months. Like this was in plans ever since NAIC.
What do you mean? It wasn't all of social media's response? Never mind.
No. But let me tell you, they do see it. You know what?
Of course.
They do see it.
Of course
And,
they see it.
it's definitely like I've had conversations with like my producers and stuff. And I think once you get the casting reps underneath your belt, which is very important, right? Like any aspiring caster should be getting your reps underneath your belt no matter what. Like I said, do it because you want to do it, and not because you want somebody to see it, but like because you want to be the best caster you can. I've always said I've had to champion myself. Like I've always had to give myself like the boost. Like I'm a good caster. I know I'm a good caster. I can work towards this because sometimes out there in the wild world, like nobody's going to tell you that. Like you, in order to reach a goal, sometimes you have to
Amen.
do it with your head down, and you just got to keep doing it. So sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, I have to champion myself. I'm going to champion myself, and I'm a good caster. I know I'm a good caster. I've worked for all these companies, but you have to be authentic to yourself, right? You have to be authentic to the people around you, like, and being a student all the time, right? Like when I talked to Joe before we were dating, right? I thought to myself, "Oh my god, this guy has been doing this for so long. I can learn so much. Like I can learn so much." And 6 to 8 hours almost every Sunday of just like we would go through my commentary line by line.
Love
Like
that. I love that.
one word pause, why did you say this? Like it's a lot more work than I would like to be a caster. Okay,
Yeah.
get up there. You know what I mean? Like it's
It's like that
just
age old like elevator speech, or like you do a what is it
elevator
called?
pitch. Yeah, yeah.
Not even elevator pitch, but you do the you have to stand up from the class and do the college class where you have to do a
Right.
presentation.
Right.
That's a you can't say you paused. You say
Right, and that's
Those
the
things
thing,
are
right?
hard. It's hard.
It's hard, and I always tell people, "Get the reps." Like, the amount of people I've told in the past week, "Hey, there are these community, um, like, initiatives now.
Yeah.
Here's your chance.
Yeah.
Start doing it."
I mean, I applied to
Um,
Doom like probably like I don't know 6 months
oh
ago.
my god. Now
It took me
listen,
forever to get on Doom.
I love what Michaela's doing. Absolutely support. Please go do that. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're running it this weekend. I haven't been on social media all day.
Uh,
I hope they do. I hope they do run it. Even with women on the broadcasting, right? Like even now that we have like half the broadcast
right,
is women,
right, right.
like we should still be doing that. If you want to be a caster, you can still absolutely do that. Like I'm sure myself and Amy, we are not offended or anybody's offended if you like decide to co-stream, right? Like I want you to do that. Um but my whole thing is like you got to keep doing it even when nobody's watching. Like and you
Yeah.
got to be a student and learn. And my whole thing with casting is that um I live casting every day. Like
Yeah,
even
you do.
I haven't I haven't been on the mic in 5 months, but this little notebook right here, and I was taking notes before this call and all that stuff. This notebook is just stats, data, things. Like I'm playing as much as possible, like to know my game, to know my lines, to know my community. Like it's not just something that I put the headset on. Okay, I'm off. See you guys next time in 3 months when you guys hire me again, right? I'm still at locals. I'm still trying to like cups. My goal isn't worlds. I'll be honest, as a player, that like cool if I were to ever really make it there, like great, but like for me my goal is to cast worlds, right? But for me, right, I live this game every single day. Like it is checking limitless tournaments results. Oh, what decks are doing well. Limitless labs is my favorite thing on the planet
It
because
is
I'm
the
really
best.
just like looking at numbers and data. Even for the past week, getting ready for Gdansk. Like my Gdansk prep started Frankfurt. Like that's I'll
Yeah,
be honest with you. Joe and I have sat at his computer and casted over games together and
love
like
it.
once again line by line,
That's
oh I
great.
hate that.
Yeah.
What can I do? Like what is that different, right? Always being a student of the game. And I'm not saying that's every caster's mentality, right? Like some of the casters who have been there forever, they don't need to do that. You know what I mean? But for me, right, like having Azul come on was so exciting for me because that's a new caster that I could learn from. That's somebody that's interesting, who has a different perspective on the game. And I think Azul did wonderful. Azul and Chip were a really fun combo. Like I really feel like there was a lot of good homey, like happy vibes there. And I'm really excited to see what Azul does for the rest of the season. And like where he takes his casting journey, right? But that's another person I learned from, right? Like, oh, I really like the way he described this line, or oh, okay, that's really interesting. Because my brain, when I went to like talk about like X line of like playing this sequence of cards, my brain went here, but his went here. Is his better than mine? Why would mine be better than his? You know what I mean? These are all of the things that we like that I think about when it comes to casting because I want to make sure that I improve once again, event over event. Like if and I've done a lot of prep for Gdansk. I want to feel a little bit better because EU and NA are so different, believe it or not, in the way that like their shows are ran.
Yeah.
So it's a very different experience that I'm walking into. But like even if that's not good, I want to make sure my next one is even better than this one.
All right. Well, let's move on and talk about the beach court buff that you got last weekend
Thanks.
and getting your first day 2 with none other than Terra Box. Parker, I think you've lined up some questions for Emily. What do you got for her?
I did. First and foremost, what made you land on Terror Box?
I was really tired of having a 100% loss rate versus Gardevoir when they weren't printing. I'm gonna be
Oh, are
really
you
honest
playing
with you.
Bolt or something before?
I was a Raging Bolt fanatic.
That's
I
fair.
played Raging Bolts with owls, without owls, any which way you wanted to play it, and I could not get this day 2. I whiffed 3 win-and-ins with it. One at an IC, one at Atlanta, one at Frankfurt, and I was just so sick of it, honestly. It hurt my soul to play this deck, to always lose to Gardevoir in the end. I'm pretty sure, like, embarrassingly enough, I like low key cried to Joe after I lost my win into Frankfurt because I was just so close again. Because I was just so sick of it. And I wanted a deck that just I felt like could do it in every matchup minus Crustle. Because I still don't even know
Yeah.
how Terra Box beats Crustle. You just kind of,
UEX and Prey? I don't know.
yeah, I guess.
Attack
Hope,
with
hope they miss
Noctowl, yeah, I
Ascension and
don't
you
know.
just water pond them to death. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I wanted to pick a deck that I felt like could do it in any matchup as long as I had a fan rotom on my bench at turn 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, the Flareon's been like a recent inclusion in these Terra boxes with Shemansky in them. So did the EV serve you right? Do you believe in it?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about it?
I love it. Honestly, I love it. Big shout outs to Alex Schmansky and Josh Frank because that is like their pet deck all the way through and through. Um, like I said, I wanted an answer to everything. And for some reason, the Terrabox EV hybrid just made the most amount of sense to me, where it was like, okay, I'm going to Wellspring first, then Burning Charge Flareon EX, and then I'm going to power up Pikachu, and then I have a line. I have 2 prize, 2 prize, 2 prize right there and then, and it makes complete sense to me. and every golden go I hit this weekend I beat. Leafeon has also been one of my favorite inclusions into that deck as well, just because I don't think people realize that Verdant Storm, Leafeon's first attack, is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
um,
it's like a bunch of
60
energies.
times the amount of energy that's on the board is also pretty good. But there were rounds where I did not bench it once. And I think that's the beauty and flexibility of the deck as well, where sometimes you do bench the Wellspring and you do bench an EV, or sometimes for me, I went double Wellspring at times. I was like, you know what? If I get one Wellspring powered up, I can also get another one powered up. But yeah, the EVs, they're very tech. It's very matchup based. But the fact that before, I mean, they were playing Jamming Tower. They said to play Jamming Tower this week or last week at Lille. They did. But before they were playing Gravity Mountain. So just having multiple outs to knocking out a Gardevoir with one energy or like one damage counter on it.
Yeah. All right. So I want you to describe your toughest match this weekend, and then what was your most fun match this weekend?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna be really honest as a Raging Bolt fan. Like I said, I don't think that deck can do it. But I definitely did lose to Raging Bolt with Wellspring, Ogerpon, and a Sparkling Crystal. And I lost really hard. I wasn't expecting it because all day I had been doing like, okay, Ditto, transformative start into Wellspring, attached to Wellspring, pass. Like, all right, I'm good. And especially when they start new EX, right? Like, I'm like, I don't know what you're playing. I don't know what's correct here. So I hadn't hit a Raging Bolt just all day. And this guy opens, your standard stereotypical Raging Bolt opening, double Nest Ball, either Teal Mask and Squawk or Raging Bolt and Squawk. And he just squawked away, and I noticed at first that it was a water energy, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh god.
Oh, this list is hot.
Oh, are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
And
the Badoo? Yo, this list is
the Badoo. And I felt like, for you tech nerds, like when you blue screen, like when your computer blue screens and like you got to turn it all the way off to turn it back on. I was like, I don't even know what to do here. Hit me with Badoo. I couldn't do anything. I got in the end, I ended up like promoting. It was like 3 prizes to 2. He had 2, I had 3, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna promote this Noctowl. And then he hit Town Store for Crystal, E-Switch, Torrential Pump. And I was like, you got it. You know what I mean? You got it.
This list is hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, you deserve, like, honestly, like, you deserve to win. Like, there was nothing I could do. Like, I was so criminally underprepared for it. And like, I will say Lily's Clefairy was prized. Like, that's like your big thing is Terraforming Raging Bolt. That's really important. Especially because you're not playing like Terrapago CX where you can hit for that 240 free. And also Flareon was prized, and Leafeon doesn't hit 240, it hits 230. And because Raging Bolt gets rid of like all the energy on the board. Like, I got absolutely smoked by this list. And honestly, it was really fun. I did end up like trying it, and I'm like, oh, I don't have that much sauce. And you know what's crazy is that you can even like crown Opal with that list. Like,
yeah.
It was throw up. Like, it was honestly, I got absolutely smacked, but I could not believe like how crazy that list was, and it was a really rad time. But
I'm a big fan of it. I mean, I don't think with like that many E-switches we're not playing Forsada, but
yeah.
I mean, we should be playing Forsada, but the list is hot.
Yeah, it was definitely took me by surprise. I can totally see how it day 2'd.
Yeah, me too.
The player had so much he obviously knew what he was doing with the deck, which was really important, of course, when you're playing in a region.
Bro, we can't lose to Grim with this list.
Nah. Regardless, so that was like the craziest matchup. Oh god. I think honestly my funnest set that I ended up losing, but I lost to a French player. And he was playing, was it Cremascoli? I can't remember.
You did not hit Cremascoli, no.
No, I didn't, but I think it was a list that he may have played at NAIC or something like that, or some European player.
You're talking about the Dragapult Blaziken?
Dragapult Blaziken, absolutely. And it was so interesting because guess what? Wellspring Mass cannot hit those big chickens, and they can absolutely hit you. And it was you would torrential pump them for 200, monkey dory. They would monkey dory the damage off onto Wellspring, and then 2 prizes right there. It was actually really hard. I tried to line up a like 4 prize turn potentially, but it just like didn't get there. So that was definitely like the matchup that I was least prepared for. That
Well,
I
yeah.
ended yeah, but it ended up being like a really fun set. Like he ended up conceding game 1 because of just like 2 massive torrential pumps and like 3 owls left to evolve. And sometimes when Iono
When
to
you got
2,
it, you
you
got it.
Iono your
Yeah.
opponent into an owl and Crispin. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
I think that had to have happened like 3 to 4 times during my run. I played against a Mega Lucario. Pretty good. I still think I beat that matchup pretty well. Hariyama though can hit pretty heavy. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that thing does 210. I was like, damn, all right, 210. You got
Yeah.
it. But Mega Lucario was interesting, but other than that, I think I had a good run. I think I played well. I think this was the first time when I was going into my winning in that I wasn't like nervous. That was like I kind of said to myself, whatever happens, happens. Like we've been here before. I'm not going to psych myself up. I'm not going to put pressure on the deck. I think that's always been like my big mistake is that I've always like, I played Miraidon for a long time where I whiffed like my first 2 winning ins and it was like, oh, it all comes down to this one electric generator. Like, you know what I mean? And I whipped that. So like to me, I said, all right, as long as I have a way to get Fan Rotom, I'm gonna be okay. And the amount of times I started Latios, Fan Rotom, and Nest Ball, I was like, oh, beautiful, beautiful as Terra Box. But I wanted to play a deck that was like considered harder than Raging Bull. I don't know. I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more. And I really do. I love that deck. It's really fun. I'll leak it. It's my caster prediction because we did see one in top 4 absolutely go crazy. I think it is a very beatable deck with a lot of disrupt, but it's a fun deck and I highly recommend people playing it.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. What was your confidence level coming in? Like, how much prep did you put into this tournament?
I had Joe play Mega Absol, Mega Kangaskhan, 2 games of Dragapult, 1 game of Gardevoir, and a Joltik box, and I was like, all right, I'm good. Like,
all right, I'm good.
That's literally what happened. I was like, all right, that's it.
So literally, it wasn't like basically it wasn't your prep. It was the beach court buff.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, fair, but also just like I said, like I didn't go in there like I need to win or like I just was like cool.
Fun. Yeah.
Well, to be quite honest, the past couple weeks have been like, all right, Gadon's prep. Like I'm on the desk, like Gadon's prep. And then things worked out. And I was like, oh, cool. I made day 2. And I got slow played in round 9 on Saturday night. I was like, cool, I'm in day. I get to wake up tomorrow early. Like that was so exciting for me.
It's always a shame to me, man, when you go like 3-2 or 3-3 in these day 2s now, and like you can still whiff 256.
Yeah, I did.
God,
I did
so
whip 256.
Like you went 3-2 in day. Sorry, 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3, not 3 and 2. Okay.
I did end up giving one of my Gardevoir opponents the win, honestly, because we ended game 2 with 2 minutes left, and I was like, all right, like we'll play by board state, and then I ended up having hoot 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 pass, and he had full board TM evolution, and I was like, you got it.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
You know what I mean? You got it. Because somebody gave me the same grace during my winning in actually. I didn't know this. I played a Minecraft YouTuber with like 27 million subs. I don't know if you know him.
Dan TDM, right?
Yeah. See, everybody knew but me. But same thing. I finished game 2 with 2 minutes to go. And we agreed that we would do it on board state because someone should get in. Like if we're tying round 9 and both of us have a chance to get in, someone should get in, right? And I ended up like popping off. Like I had like Wellspring and Crispin and everything in hand. And like he could have taken the tie there, right? Like a lot of people don't honor the gentlemen's when they're about to lose. And he absolutely honored it. He was a great opponent. Like I said, I totally didn't know who I was playing against. It was really just like, oh, this guy.
So you want to hear a funny story, Emily? For me, my first day 2 for my round 9, I already went in and I won my round 8 to make it in. But my first day 2, I hit Caleb Gettimer round 9, and they were all like, Caleb, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
I'm like, right? He's just another person in my way. It's funny. That happens, you just get in the zone. You
Yeah.
don't think about all the things. Um
My friend Alexander Chea played, God, I'm forgetting, Diego Casaraca.
oh,
He didn't even know. He was like some guy who won worlds.
who knows, right?
Yep.
Some guy. Parker, want to pick the last one there?
Yeah, absolutely. Were you considering any other decks? I know you're a big Raging Bolt believer, but was there anything else on the plate, or were you just like, I need Raging Bolt, but in a form that could beat Gardevoir kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. So Emma Hagen and I were at the same cup the
Oh,
weekend before, and she had looked at me and in very typical Emma Hagen, love her by the way, big shout outs. Very typical Emma Hagen form says, "Oh, your list sucks. You should play my list."
right.
And I said, "What's that?" And she introduced me once again to Hoopa EX. And I was thinking about it. I built it actually, and I played maybe 2 games of it in person. I think also what was different is that I actually did all of my testing in person this
I like
time.
in-person testing.
I
I like
took
it a
I
lot.
took this deck to a challenge and I like got second at the challenge by resistance and I was like, I'm gonna play this at Lille. Like I
Oh,
did
really?
yeah, I that's how I took Terror Box to a challenge and I was like, if I do terrible with this, then like I tried, but then I got second out of challenge with it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it. And then I just like put tons of in-person time. So I thought about switching to because Joe wanted me to either play EVs or play Terrabox at one point. He was like, "You got to pick one. Like, it's a very interesting deck list that you got there, but like, I think you just got to play one. Like, maybe it was better when Golden Go was really like a more prominent deck, and the
Yeah.
Flareon would be better. But I think it's time to pick one. And as we like tested more, he kind of like went back on that. He was like, you know what? Like, you're the most comfortable on this deck. Play this deck. And I've always said that going into these regionals, even though, I'm not a regional champion, who am I to tell you anything? You got to play what you're comfortable with, right? Like if your whole group, if you're comfortable on a list and then all of a sudden your whole group is like, I think we're going to switch to Gardevoir and you have 2 games on Gardevoir lifetime, don't play Gardevoir. Please play what you know and what you're comfortable with. There are only some people that can pick up a deck and be like, "All right, here you go. That's all right. I'm going to make day 2. I'm going to make top 64 with a deck that I just picked up yesterday." I myself, and I would say probably about 94% of players aren't that good. Like unless they are, you know what I mean? But I've always been a big proprietor in you got to play what you know the best.
Yeah.
If I didn't devote that much time into Terrabox, I would have continued playing Raging Bull and I would have definitely lost to both Gardevoirs that I played. I did lose round 1, but only because I like bricked really hard game 3. But I have like this
Mm,
weird theory that if you lose game 1, you have a weirdly easier time making it to the end. Like the
I
amount
mean,
of times
round one. Yeah, round one.
if you lose round 1, you
Yeah.
just like make it to the end. I don't know why I feel like that's the case. Maybe
Well,
it's
because you're
not.
not
Maybe
top tables and hitting every single hard person in the world.
I mean, listen, that's super fair. But
I mean, that's just true. I mean, it
yeah.
is a thing for sure. I've lost first 2 rounds and 1 out. It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So I truly feel like also a ton of my friends have just been saying like I can't believe you day 2'd after you finally played a deck that requires a brain because Miraidon back in the day didn't
Yeah,
really require a
yeah,
brain to
yeah,
hit 2 generator Iron Hands happy face like
yeah. That's right.
or do I have Sada turn 2 going second? Yay, I win. You know what I mean? Or like did I draw into my prime catcher? And this was like the first time I played a deck with like genuine thought because I never played Lost Box because I hate that deck. So sorry. I hate that deck. Sorry. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. But I still hated that deck. Took too much time. Every Lost Box opponent I play would be like, what do I
Mm.
discard? And then it's just 2 energy. It's like just big one. Anyway, yeah. So I would have played Raging Bolt, but I definitely would not have made day 2. We'll see what I play for future tournaments, but as of right now, me and Wellspring Ogrepon are best friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. That's for sure.
Good card.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's gonna do it for all of our questions. Emily, thank you so much for coming on. I want to give you a quick shout out. If you want to shout out any of your YouTube channels or any of your secondary channels or anything like that, Twitter, where can people follow you, all those things.
I'm gonna grandstand for a moment. You You at home, you can be a caster. You can. It requires work, but just know there's a support system. My DMs are open if you ever wanted to ask me specific questions. I'm here for you. If you want me to review a VOD of you casting, I will do that for you. You just gotta ask. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lyric of Wisdom. You guys can find me on my new favorite, aside from my own channel that I need to still work on. But me and my significant other, Joe Bernard, we have a little couples channel called Duo Decks. Our second
Cutest.
video,
I
our
love it.
second video has 40,000 views, so it's
What?
pretty good.
Jeez.
Where we go through Joe and I's
His collection.
collection of cards, which is a
Yeah.
really fun video. Big shout outs to my local.
I didn't know
shout
it
out
was
to-
up to that many views. That's a lot.
Yeah, brother,
crazy.
it's big.
Woo!
We're almost at 700 subs just off of like 3 videos, which is pretty rad.
That's
So
pretty rad.
we're doing more work there. Big shout outs, of course, to my friends, my testing group, the Squawk and Caesars. That's my group chat name. Love those guys. Big shout outs to my boyfriend in the next room, who's very supportive, because I definitely would not be doing this well in life, I think, right now without him, and he's the best. And once again, you can be a caster too. You just have to work hard, but that's okay, because there are people that want to help you like me. I want to help you. Just let me help you. That's it. That's where you can find me. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Emily. It's been a pleasure having you here on the Beach Court podcast. And we'll get back to the episode. So thank you, everyone. All right. Welcome back to the Beach Court podcast. That was Emily Forman talking all things about how to become a caster and her experience in Lil. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please press like, comment, and subscribe below. We really appreciate it a lot. But before we do move on to our next topic, need to give a quick shout out to FCBC, some of the best sleeves in the game. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, they have a really massive ambassador program launching right now. There's so many cool people becoming an FCBC ambassador. They're going to work hand in hand, with FCBC to create sleeves. And one of the first things they're going to be doing is submitting suggestions for like cool new sleeve colors. And 2 of those ambassador colors are going to be selected. They're going to make new colors. So new FCBC colors coming soon from your ambassador. So if you know an ambassador, make sure you tell them what color you might want, and it might be chosen. Who knows? And we're also sifting through all the results from all the submissions of the grant scholarship for the regional travel. So thank you for everyone that submitted those. We'll have an update for you next step soon. Parker, you got your sleeves ready? What are you sleeving up lately? You got Badoo?
I do. So I did get the Itchy Pollen sleeves. I had to re-sleeve my Gardevoir deck, so I just re-sleeved it in that, and then thematically, I'm sleeving up my Zoro deck for one piece in them as well. He's green, so
Nice. So what you're saying is you put Gardevoir and Itchy Pollen, but you didn't play Badoo.
I did not. I actually don't mind Badoo in Gardevoir.
Bro, you can't play Itchy Pollen sleeves in Pokemon without Itchy Pollen.
I know.
Come on, bro. You're like off brand.
No, off brand.
All right. Well, let's move on. Next up, we're going to talk about some of the results from the Lille Regional Championships over in France. And some of the best decks and what our predictions were and the results of those predictions. But first off, we got to give a quick shout out to Alexander Rudowicz. I think I butchered that name. I apologize in advance. But Dragapult Dusknoir took it down and had all Dragapult Dusknoir finals. Top 8 was littered with Dragapult Dusknoirs. There was 4 of them in top 8. Followed up with a Zoroark, with Piper, a Terrabox, a Charizard, and another Zoroark with Gabriel Fernandez. So 6 of the top 8 decks were just 2 decks. And then that kind of stands out to me, Parker. What did you take away from this weekend? Did you get to watch it much, or were you stuck at work, or what did you get to see?
I had to watch part of one game. It was the Conti versus Terrabox.
Okay.
I saw a little bit of that. And shout out to Alberto. I was like, he might be cooked here, and he found a way back in. Yeah. Incredible play from him.
I mean, even Henry Brown, when he played against the same Terrabox opponent, top 8, it looked like he was destined to lose a game and just found a way. A Terrabox made it all the way to top 4. Is there something to say about right now these 2 decks just dominating Lil? Is it kind of like a byproduct of these Mega Absol decks, and Zoroark probably beats those decks a little bit, with Petrarant combo and Dusknoir being good? and people are not respecting it? Like, what do you think these results kind of like show?
So I really thought Dragapult Dusknoir was gonna be like a really good showing this week because like I think people are off the Gardevoir train a bit, although like they weren't that much, but like people playing decks like Charizard, which like Dragapult's favorable into, and then like I don't know. I feel like it was like Dragon Pulse weekend, and like I had my deck list written out, and then I was like, if I get a Mega Gardevoir because I'm dumb and I left both of my copies of Mega Gardevoir at home, uh, I was like, if I get a Mega Gardevoir, I'll just send Guardy. That's what I did, but I had Dragon Ball
So who is
Dusknoir
the
written out.
culprit for giving you this Mega Gardevoir?
I had a trade with Chris, and he,
Dang.
but like, yeah, I was like, I think Dragon Ball Dusknoir is to play. I
You
just
know,
didn't send it.
I've been eating my words this weekend because I've been saying on this podcast like Jack
Yeah,
Will
you
Dustin was
say it
terrible.
stinks.
I mean, it's just like we're in a cycle now where all the dark decks are trying to beat up on Guardy, right? And then Guardy's gonna come back and beat up on Dragon Ball Dusknoir because it's gonna be more popular. I mean, because Gardevoir was the most popular deck this weekend at 16.5%
Yeah.
when you combine, the variant groupings. Golden Go right on the heels. But Mega Absols and Dragapults and Charizards and Mega Absols and Marnies, three of the top six decks being dark. That's gonna go bad for Guardy, and it's gonna be good for Dragapult Dusknoir, and it was, and some good players playing it still, and that's what it takes for these lists to do well. Taking a look at the standings, some of the decks right on the outside looking in. Speaking on the outside looking in, we got to pour one out for Drew Stevenson, man.
Dude, that is
Dude, how awful must that feel? You win
you
on
won on
stream.
stream.
You win on stream. You go into the lounge. You do an interview. You're excited. Oh, I only need a
Yeah,
bubble. And like
heartbreaking.
Rahul called it a couple like rounds early. He was like, it looks like potential for 17 players, based off of like what could happen. I don't know. I think I'm okay with it. I'm at ease. Like it's fine for me because they should have had an extra round, but they probably had a lot of no shows, that made that possible. So maybe the tournament director is supposed to like have a lot more spots. But looking at Drew's run, I mean, he came into the day two at X2-1 and then just won out.
Mhm.
And some of his opponents just didn't do well, and that's okay. Like this happens all the time at locals and stuff. Out of a top 8 cut and things. I think the format that we have is pretty good for the most part.
I think it's pretty good.
I mean, with like the top 16 cut and and ASIM and all those things, and this was just unfortunate that we were so close to the next round and didn't get that next round. But
Oh, because it's like 2049 or
48, yeah,
something.
48, and it was 2028. So
Yeah.
and they were just really close to the next round. So some people were kind of like talking about how the organizer should just say, hey, like if you're an organizer out there and you're listening, you need to allow like I don't know whatever the number is, like 1,800 people, or you need to allow like 2,400, 2,500 people, and make sure we hit that kicker, right? Like because like obviously there was definitely more than 2048. There was at least 20 no shows, most likely.
I just think the kicker number is kind of weird. Like I don't know.
I mean, there's math that Pokemon does for it. It's not a number they just pick out of air.
Yeah.
And
I
obviously they're close, right? With only one person bubbling out here, they're probably pretty close on the number. So just unfortunate for Drew. Had a really cool like. I built his list after and kind of in honor of him not making top cut. Got a really cool list with Golden Go Secret Box with the Mega Mawile.
them all while, yeah.
And you got the Turbo Energized. So that way, if you hit you hit a cornerstone match, you just go, all right, Turbo Energized to Mega Mawile. Shake my hand. Okay. So, and I like this list a lot. So pretty consistent. I don't love the Soul Rock builds. What's your opinion on the Soul Rock builds? Have you played them yet?
I haven't played a ton. I played like a little bit. Like I've not super sold on them.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I like this build. I don't like the trolley. The trolley's like not it for me. But this build with the box, it's kind of fun. I mean, look at it. You got 4, 5.
I
You
mean,
got
box
6.
basically is trolley.
Yeah, I mean, you got
almost.
6 outs to Arvin turn 1.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even turbo energize to like a Genesect and protect Char. You could
Yeah, you could.
turbo energize the Fez and Cruel
Yes.
Arrow turn 2, bro.
Good.
I mean, there's so many cool things you can do with turbo energize. So I like that list a lot. I think you said there was a bunch of guardians on the outside looking in.
They were, yeah, just
Yeah,
on
you
the
got
outskirts.
5 guardies there on the outskirts.
Bunch of
Just
crazy players on Gardevoir.
yeah, I mean Rune, Julius,
Yeah, Raz, Consta,
Raz. Oh yeah,
Kalama.
that's some really cool stuff. But yeah, I mean the metagame is going to be evolving this week. Take a look back at where the metagame was if we turn the variant grouping off. I'm sorry, on. Again, Gardevoir is the most popular deck. Goldango followed up at number 2. Charizard, Dragapult, Ceruledge, Marnie's Grimmsnarl were your top 6 decks. And taking a look back at our predictions last week, we talked about this is one of our predictions. Where's Absol going to be on the graphic? Medic said 3rd. I said 3rd. Parker said 5th. We were all wrong. It was 7th. Are you surprised at that result of being that low on the graphic?
No, I mean, when you guys were saying third, I thought you guys were like out of your mind. Like, I was like, I feel like it's fifth, sixth, or like not on here, but like you
Yeah.
guys said third, and then you guys sounded surprised when I said fifth, so I was like,
I mean, it's a Tord deck. Tord decks always like take popularity, you know.
yeah, but it's like I don't know. There's a level of simplicity in decks for like the general public, and like that
Sure,
deck like kind of doesn't have that.
doesn't have it, you know. Yeah, and then one of our other questions was, is Tord going to play the same deck? And the answer was no, because Tord no showed focused on his health, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you gotta do that.
We all said no.
We all
Well,
said no.
yeah.
And then the other one we talked about was what deck falls off the graphic out of top 7. Maddox said Grim. I said Zard because I'm an idiot, and Parker said Ceruledge. So looking at the results of that, Grim was the closest off the graphic at 6, but it still was on the graphic. Ceruledge still on the graphic, and Zard was on the graphic. We all should have said Mega Absol. Was what we should have said, I guess.
No, y'all were
I like Mega
high on
Absol.
that
I was
deck.
I was
No,
I
no,
was
no.
hyped on the deck.
I like it too.
What's crazy though, I mean, look at the win rate. You know, the win rate definitely like took a hit. All right,
Yeah.
it was over in the 50s, and now it's down to 48%. So now the only deck at over 50% is in Zoroark, 51%. What we got down here? What is this? Iron Hands Magneton, 56%.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wait, 9%. Wait.
Future box, bro.
9% win rate.
Oh wait, 3 future box. Let's go. We got 2 future box
my
and
goodness.
2 Espathras. How do we have 2 Espathras, bro?
I don't know.
Shout out Ruben Schnowell for playing Espathra. All right. Okay, so let's talk about let's give our opinions. We got two tournaments this weekend, Gdansk and Brisbane. One which will be casted by Emily, who we just had on, and the other will be casted by no one because they don't have a cast, and I'm very sad. What are your thoughts?
Send you.
I know. What are your thoughts on the meta? Anything shifting this week? Anything changing?
I think Dragapult goes up, and like some of the dark decks go down slightly, maybe. I don't know. I was like a little bit surprised how low like the Joltik box numbers were.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like usually the deck's just a little higher just due to like it being like pretty straightforward and like
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
Only 49 players, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Crystal could also make a pretty good run. I guess it feels weird saying that, but like everything up here is like really X based. I mean, except Gardevoir, I guess can just you lose the Gardevoir, but
Crystal
I
with
don't know.
Psyduck. You have to play Psyduck if you're playing in Dusknoir, probably.
Probably, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You but I don't know. Like maybe it's Goldango's time to shine.
Maybe it's Goldingo's time to shine again.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll go back to Energy Search Pro. Get all of our energies. Who knows?
Yeah.
And what's your prediction for a winner this weekend? With Dex winning, and let's go with Gdansk first.
Uh, I'm gonna go with Gardevoir.
Gardevoir. That's a safe choice. Gardevoir's won a lot of tournaments. I'm gonna go with Terrabox. One got close. I think people are starting to hype it up, including Emily, who we just had on the podcast and did
Ooh,
well with it. I think it's a good deck.
ooh. Oh, of course, yeah.
Any changes to your prediction for Brisbane?
You mean like top meta stuff,
Yeah.
or
I mean, Henry Brand played Dragon Ball Dusknoir. Is he winning Brisbane?
he might be.
Might be.
I don't know. I think like somebody, a cracked Guardy pilot probably makes it through. Sees a little more success with the rise of a favorable ish matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's interesting. The Brisbane meta definitely is a little more narrow, probably.
Yeah.
A lot less people.
I will say, I think the Gardevoir lists are going to improve for this week. Because, like, the Brisbane ones, or not Brisbane, the little ones are like one Arvin.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of like all over the place. Like, I think they're going to, like, refine the lists a bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Good luck to everyone competing in Gdansk and Brisbane. We'll be back next week to recap those episodes, start to get you ready for Vegas. Vegas is only 2 weeks away. It's close. If you're not prepping already, you should be. But that's going to do it for this week's episode, and we'll have Maddox back next week. So until then, we'll see you later.
See you.